everybody, this is Alessandra Ziviani coming to you live from CPAC for Makeup Monday. Yeah, Makeup Monday. So I just wanted to get started. We're going to do scars today. If you recall, a couple weeks ago we did cuts and bruises. So this is more along the lines of a wound that has already healed to some extent. And what we're going to be using for that today is scar and makeup wax. I have two types. This is Krylons and this is Ben Nye's. I'm going to use the Ben Nye today. What you want to know about, this is kind of what it looks like. It's just a putty, and it's going to make the actual raised kind of effect on my face from a scar that maybe didn't get stitches or, you know, that kind of thing. So what you have to do with this stuff is that you have to make sure that you're using, your hands are wet when you're applying this because it's really sticky. It's wax. So what I'm going to do, like we did with the cuts and bruises, you have to have a backstory because you have to know why you have this wound on your face. So what my backstory is that I'm a queen, a pirate queen, and I've gotten into duels in my time as pirate queen. So that's what I'm going for. I'm gonna go for kind of like a hook-shaped cut that goes straight down my face, kind of diagonally. So what I've done is I've taken my water and I've put it on my fingers. I've also put it a little bit on the wax, and I'm going to take the back of my brush and kind of just dig out some of this wax, because it's actually really hard to get into otherwise. I'm just going to wet my other finger right now. So I'm taking it off of the back of my brush like this, and what I'm doing with the wax is that I am gonna roll it kind of like into a little worm shape. Just kind of pressing it down. My fingers are wet. And there we go. And I'm gonna actually hook it a little bit for this one because I'm actually gonna do a little bit more wax. Put it at the tip. Okay. So, and then I'm gonna place it kind of, oh, I have primer on my face also, by the way. So the wax is one of the first things that goes on your face. There's no foundation on my face or anything, just primer. So I'm gonna I wanna angle it. And sorry about the wavy lights. I don't know why this is happening. I've checked all of my light bulbs and I can't figure out the source of the waving. So, okay, so I'm gonna kind of, oops, hold on, let me fix my wax worm. Here we go. So I want to kind of angle this, starting at my brow and kind of going across my forehead. So I want to kind of make sure I'm right next to my eyebrow, and I'm just kind of patting it down, and I'm going to hook it, not too much of a hook, but so is that what you can kind of see? And now what I need to do is I need to spread it out on my face. So I'm getting my fingers more wet. So I'm gonna get close. Sorry about the waving light. It seems like whenever I get closer to the camera, the light waves more. So what I'm doing is I'm pressing down on both sides of this little worm that I've made of the wax. So I'm just pressing down like that. And I'm kind of blending it into my skin. I'm kind of like, what I'm doing is I'm kind of pulling it into my skin area like that, to my forehead. And it's like putty, it's like Play-Doh in that sense. So, and I'm keeping my ridge line because I want there to be, you know, like scars when they heal, especially if they haven't had stitches, which as a pirate on the 7 seas, I definitely would not have had stitches. I am going to, I want some depth to it so that it has healed, you know, and it's kind of, the two parts of my skin have kind of left me very damaged. It was a very deep cut and the original cut. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to give that impression of a deep ridge line in the scar. So I'm just kind of patting it down a little bit now, just like that. And I'm just, for me, I'm looking in the mirror just to see how it's, how smooth it is. I'm going to try to get it pretty smooth, you know. I'm going to pull it down into my eye like this, and into my eyebrow a little bit. So I'm just kind of making sure that the point in which there's a crease, you know, and it's where it's the wax versus my own skin, that I'm making sure that it's really kind of concealed. And then the next step for this to actually continue the concealment of this wax on your face is you're going to be using a little bit of liquid latex. So here, I'm just getting it all, I'm getting it real close so you guys can see me, what I'm doing. Also, so I can see what I'm doing. And, okay, and you want to make sure you really spend this part some good time with it, because once you set it, it's kind of set, you know. So I'm just making sure that I'm getting it the way I want to get it. And you know, the skin around, it's okay if it's a little lumpy, because if a wound like this happened, your skin would kind of heal funny, especially if you didn't receive proper medical attention right away. So, and I'm just filling in some of these kind of cracks. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. That's kind of the look. And then I'm gonna take my liquid latex, just that, and I'm gonna get my brush ready here. Hold on a second. Liquid latex is it's real sticky on the brush, so I'm gonna fix this. It's been sitting there for a minute. Okay. All right. Okay, and so then I'm just gonna dab in here a little bit to the stuff that is actually, there we go. So, and I'm just gonna, what I'm gonna do is I'm stippling the latex onto the edges of the wax so that it kind of seals it. And it's going to, and it's gonna need more latex. Hold on a second. There we go. And it's also gonna add some more texture to this kind of wound also. My latex is not cooperating with me. I'm actually going to use my finger because the brush isn't really working for me. So here we go. I'm having latex problems. Here we go. Sorry, take that part off. You know, this might be happening because I feel like this latex is a little bit old. So we might scrap the latex part because it's not performing the way it should be doing. But that's okay. I can put some sealant on it instead. I have this, it's got the consistency of hairspray. So I'm going to use this instead. Just because I want it to stay firm on, like very firm on. I'm having a malfunctioning day. There we go. Here we go. So I'm going to close my eye Yeah. I'm just going to let that dry for a minute. And you can see it's shiny. It's a sealant. So it should keep the wax in place. Just like that. And while I'm waiting for it to dry, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my next little part of my scar. I'm going to get my fingers wet. Just like that. I'm making my next little bit of scar, which I'm going to be putting, that is going to match this area right here. I'm just fixing that because it seems to be coming up. Okay, so I'm going to do this right to here, coming down to my cheek line. So here we go. And again, I'm just doing the same kind of motion of, and I'm going to be real gentle by my eye, under eye, and I'm just going to kind of, I might actually take that little piece away, and yeah, I'm going to mask it with makeup later. So here we go. I'm just kind of getting that down, pulling it down. Let me get my fingers wet again because it's getting really tacky. So here we go. And with the trick with this stuff too is patience. The wax is really, can be difficult to work with, especially if you've never worked with it before. And I've worked with it before, and I still, still find sometimes it's difficult. But you should be patient because, you can take stuff away, and you can mess with it in this process. And I'm just going to show you how. So there we go. I actually think this is a little too long, so I'm going to take it away, put it back in my wax area, and then I'm going to pat this down, still some spreading it. So again, I'm spreading it so that it blends into my cheek, like that. And then I'm going to get the excess away. I'm just going to mess with this part up here a little bit. Take some of that wax out of that area where it's not supposed to be. Getting my fingers wet yet again. And I'm going to fix what's happening up here because it's deciding not to stay. So here we go. I'm actually going to redo this. Here we go. Getting some more wax. Just going to redo that. So you see, so sometimes if it's not working for you, just redo it. Here we go. Making my hook. I'm just going to clean off my face a little bit. Okay, here we go again. This way, out here. And that's what I want. And again, patting it down, keeping the ridge line. I'm just fixing it again because it's not feeling like it wants to stick right now. You know what I might do is I might actually wipe off my face here to get any oils off that might be there. we go. And I'm just gonna get a napkin, wipe like that. And maybe it'll be more prone to want to work here. Work with me, little worm. Come on, my little wax worm, let's go. Okay, here we go. There we go. It's sticking now. Third time's a charm, right? And that's what I'm doing again. I'm just getting in there and smoothing it out. Doing the edges. There we go. Going back down to my eye. Trying to connect it so that you can see that it was maybe a hook that went across my face, which is kind of what is in my mind of what happened to create this wound. And I'm just making sure that this is still tacky down here. I'm gonna wet my fingers again. Gonna make sure I'm blending the edge like that. And I'm just gonna grab a little bit of sealant. Now this is, I'm using a different sealant now because we do need to seal this, and I, unfortunately, my latex is too old and it's not working, but I'm using a little bit of spirit gum right now. And I'm just kind of stippling it, tacking it on like that. There we go. I'm using my fingers. Okay. Now for this next part, we're almost to the point where I can start putting my base foundation on. Just want to make sure that it is really stuck onto my face. There we go. There. This is looking a little wonky, but we can fix it later. Okay, so there we go. That's what I'm going to work with right now. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my foundation on. And I'm going to be gentle because, you know, the wax, I don't want to pull the wax off of my face. Doing a shade lighter for my base makeup today, just so you can really see the definition that I'm going to be doing for the scarring. And I'm kind of just pushing it on right now up here by the wax. And then bringing it down, using the wiping motion to bring it down. There we go. So the thing with scars is that if you look at a scar, picture of a scar, there's sometimes they're all kind of different, and it also depends how old they are. You know, a scar that's still like scars, they change over your time of having them. You know, a scar for its first year might still have red in it. But you know, a scar that's 20 years old might be all white at this point. So my scar is going to be somewhat new. So mine is going to still have some red in it, but it will have some white as well, showing the definition of the peak of the scar. So I'm going to say my scar is about, I don't know, a year old, year to 5 years. And I'm just going to try to fix this wax over here because I'm not super happy with the way that it's looking. It's kind of crusty looking. I'm just going to take some away from this edges like that. And I'm going to pull it, just try to pull it to the side as much as I can. There we go. That's looking a little bit better. And I actually don't mind some of the texture around the under eye part, since it's a very sensitive part of your face. There might be some strange scarring like that. You know, that does tend to happen if there was no stitches involved with this injury. So here we go. Now I feel like I've fixed that to a point where it's looking more the way I want it to look, which is a little bit raised. And then I'm just going to continue with my foundation around, just like that. And you see a lot of the imperfections do go away with the application of the base makeup. Okay. Hi. Okay, so here we go. And I'm actually going to kind of leave this because this could be interesting to play with some color. So I'm going to leave this kind of mess of scar right here. So I'm just going to make sure, I want to make sure that I still have a ridge line here. So I'm just kind of pushing the wax together underneath the makeup, just like that. Okay, so, and I'm just coming back here to make sure that I'm all smooth and ready to go up on top, just like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna actually put a little bit of cream color into the scar, and then I'm going to move on, powder my face to set, and then move on to powder. I'm gonna use a little bit of this kind of pinky color. It looks kind of really bright pink, but I think it's gonna be okay for what I'm trying to do for my scarring. So what I'm gonna do is I wanna leave the top ridge line of this wax not painted because I'm gonna be doing it white. So the way that a scar normally works, it's white and then a darker pink, and then it blends into your skin tone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring the pink into right underneath the ridge line of my scar. So I'm gonna kind of do that. I'm just kind of painting it on, dabbing it on, just like that, underneath where I'm gonna be putting in some white highlight. So here we go. And I'm also using the brush to kind of tap down any little crevices that I see that are not sticking. And I'm going to do this to my eye over here as well. So I'm gonna kind of get a little bit of that pink in there, bring it down the side, just like that. And I'm just using a very tiny brush so that I can get it in the details, in the little crevasses of my face with the wax being there. And I'm kind of liking this weird little spot on the top of my eye. Looks like I had some, like the hook got caught there or something, which is kind of gross, but cool. And I'm gonna do a little bit more here. Just like that. Now I'm gonna take a different brush and I'm gonna put some white on the ridge line like I was talking about. So I'm just gonna use a bright white from Ben Nye. And literally what I'm gonna just do is get the top of the ridge line and kind of just dab it real carefully because I don't want to press down too hard because I don't want to lose the ridge. So I'm just kind of very lightly tapping this white onto the ridge line of the wax. And I'm going to blend it over a little bit so it looks a little bit like the peak is a little bit wider and flatter, because, you know, scars, they don't like come up to a huge point. They're more like a slope, a plateau, and then another slope down. And that's what I'm trying to mimic with the highlight and the shadow. So I'm doing my eye as well here. Coming down. Okay. It looks a little bright right now, but it's gonna go down with the application of powder. So that's kind of what I want to start with, that kind of definition. So now I'm going to put some powder on my face to kind of set everything. I'm just using translucent powder and my little fluffy brush. And I'm just kind of getting in there as much as I can. Like really getting in there with the powder. And do my whole face, powder it up. All right, so now I'm gonna do some blending. I have a kind of a pinky color too that I have available, which I'm gonna do a little bit of added shadow with this pink kind of around on the other side as well, just to kind of look a little irritated. You know, it's been a while, but it's probably still a little irritated. Wounds take a long time to heal. So I'm just kind of dropping in a little bit of that color on around this side. And then on the top side as well, under my eye. And I think I'm going to switch my brush to something a little bit more able to pick up a little bit more pigment. Just trying to find the right brush here. Here we go. All right, so I'm getting it pretty loaded up with my kind of rougey color. And I'm gonna kind of blend also the pink that I have already there as well. So That's kind of what I'm working with right there. I'm kind of just seeing, I'm getting in here because there's a shadow here too, for the scar. I want to make sure I get it. And I'm also gonna tap down a little bit more of my wax right now because it's kind of giving me a problem. So I'm just gonna tap it. You can see what I'm doing. I'm just tapping it down a little bit. There we go. All right, and now I'm gonna put in a little bit more shadow highlight. I'm going to use actually like a dark brown, just an actual shadow. And I'm gonna kind of give a little bit more dimension to the pink that I put on with cream makeup into this area. So just kind of like that, to really show that there's, you know, a big kind of definition right here, that it's a big kind of imprint. You know, I'm just creating shadow, creating the idea that there is a kind of a depression right here. A depression versus like a mountain, like a peak. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of getting in there, and I like the pink that's in there, but I also want some something a little darker as well. So the top is looking pretty well defined up in here. And I'm also going to do it out here as well, because there would be a depression on either side. So I'm just going to very lightly add just a little bit of shadow up into the top parts of this area. And I'm blending out into my forehead as well. So you can kind of see that progression a little bit. And I'm going to do a little bit close to the actual highlight that I put on, just like that. So we get a little bit of definition. And I'm just kind of blending right now, trying to really look at myself and see if I can see the illusion of height, which I think I can. One little thing I am going to do is I'm going to dust in a little bit of redness, just a little bit, onto the top peak of this. Just to give it a kind of less bright white look, you know, more skin flesh colored kind of look. Just like that. And I'm just kind of dusting it over. It's a brighter, it's like a more maroon powder red. Just like that. So there we go. It's starting to really look. I know that when we first started, it was like, oh my God, is this ever? But it is, you know, it's a process. It's a layering process. Yes, it's good for Phantom. Oh, little Lottie thought, am I fonder of books? Sorry, nice. So, you said it was gross last time too. I know, but you know, some people have scars on their face. Not like this, not like a pirate would, not like my pirate queen has. But you know, Lorien, I'm sure there were some Viking warriors that definitely got their faces cut up, and they didn't care. Wore it proud. Honor. For the honor. All right. So what I'm going to do now is actually to enhance the scar, I'm going to do some more highlight on here on my actual face. Yes. So here we go. Hold on a second. I'm just going to do a little bit like this. And I'm also going to do it on my nose. There we go. And I'm going to do it up here just a little bit. And I normally wouldn't do highlights right here, but I'm only doing it to highlight. This Viking is posting on Facebook. Oofta. Here we go. And I normally wouldn't put a highlight here either, but I'm just, again, I'm just doing it so you can see the definition of the scar. Okay. I'm just doing my nose. I'm just doing this, and my nose is just basic highlight and shadow, the same you would do for a normal thing. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm doing my cheekbone here, and my wax is being kind of annoying. I think I was too aggressive. I think I was too aggressive there for a second. So here we go. Let me fix it. I'm actually going to use some more of my foundation and tap it down. Sorry, you can see. All right, there we go. Now I got to fix everything again because it just kind of went nuts. All right, so I'm going to get some more red in there and some more pink. There we go. Just like that. And I think I did too much of a sweeping motion just now. That's why this is happening. Again, so now what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I'm tapping down with my powder when I'm reapplying it. Tapping it down, tapping the wax down, just like that. And I go back in with my highlight. And it really is starting to look like a pretty well-defined scar. And I'm just doing a little highlight here too, just like that. And I want to put a little bit here to show, because I have this kind of like grossness right here. And so I'm just tapping it down. Okay. All right, and I'm just gonna put a little bit more pink. I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I, could, like I said before, I could continue to put color on these things forever. So I'm gonna stop soon. I'm gonna make myself stop. Promise. But I think it's looking pretty cool, and I'm just gonna put a little more red up here. Well, this is pink, actually. It's like a rouge that I'm using. So, and I am going to take a little bit more red and kind of just dust it over here. Just like that. It's really kind of detailed. So now I'm going to what I'm going to do around my eyes, I'm going to put a little red under here too. Just under this specific eye, because I feel like it would be irritated still from all of this stuff. Red down here too. But just because you have gross scars on your face doesn't mean you can't also have pretty makeup, because I am saying that I'm a pirate queen here. So what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to do my makeup as like kind of a dark, conquering marauder. Well, what I would think is, I'm watching this this show. It's kind of dorky. I'm watching this show on Netflix that is about Merlin. and magic. And so I don't know. I feel like this, you know, a lot of the characters in this, series have, you know, it was the medieval ages. So a lot of them have like scars from wars and all this kind of stuff, which is, you know, really cool as you start to watch stuff on television to see the makeup that people do. You know, the makeup also for the film version of Sweeney Todd is pretty cool. Like the way that and that's kind of, I'm gonna be kind of doing an eye like that, this like dark kind of eye. So what I've taken is this brown, using this brown right here. It's got a little gold in it, and I'm going to use it as my darkest point of shadow, and I'm going to be really exaggerated with it. I'm actually going to go way up in here, and I'm just kind of, I'm dabbing it in because I want that kind of like, you know, marauder. I don't know why it's like marauder to me, but like, you know, and I'm going to go a little outside of my eye here, and I'm actually going to go underneath as well, like that. And I'm going to do the same over here, get it up and close to my eyebrow. Actually, I am going to be backfired magic. So here we go. I'm going to go under here again. Like that. Now I'm going to get another brush. I'm going to use, where's the brush I want? I'm just going to use like a wand, kind of like this. And I'm going to be putting in some gold. So this, again, your eyes, we've done eyes a couple times. I'm doing the dark color first because I want it to be more pronounced. But now I'm putting in what would be called my transition color. And I'm actually bringing it up to the point as well. So to my eyebrow points. So here we go. And it's like, it's kind of this coppery gold that I'm using. It's this color right here, right there. And then I'm going to be using some of this red later as well because, you know, I'm a pirate. I need red in my eyes. So here we go, just getting it all up in there. I'm going to do my other side now too. And I'm blending it into the dark that I've already put on. And I'm kind of pulling it up also. Bringing it out, pulling it up. And I'm layering it pretty thick in there because, you know, that's what I want. There we go. So now I'm going to use the other side of this wand. It's a little like almost oblong looking thing. And I'm going to get some of this red. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little triangle, basically is the shape. And I'm doing this little triangle of red and I'm pulling it out to where I'm going to do my eyeshadow or my eyeliner in a second. So I'm just going halfway through my lid and then I'm pulling it out this way. Just to give me some more depth in my eye. It also makes me look a little menacing, you know? Beautifully menacing with my scar on my face. Hold on one second. I'm getting my scar back together. All right, here we go. Here we are. I'm just fixing this a little bit. It's kind of giving me problems. It's hard because the latex wasn't working. It was too old, and latex is really how you keep down the wax. So my wax is kind of moving around on me, which if I had my latex to stipple it down, it wouldn't be so much of a problem. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little eyeliner. If I can find my eyeliner. Here we go. And I'm going to do a little double wing here. just to kind of do something different. And I'm just applying the eyeliner like I'm gonna go all the way. I'm gonna really rim my eye, because I have in my mind, if I'm a warrior, Captain Warrior, I would have some pretty intense makeup, eye makeup. I don't know why I feel like that, but I do. So I'm taking my one lift first right off of my eyeliner line, and then I'm going to go down one, kind of like where my lower, and I'm going to do that. That's what I've decided to do. It's going to really open my eye up. I'm also going to line my lower eyelid, and if you guys watch me, you know I normally don't do that, but I really want, because there's so much going on my face, I really want my eyes to be seen as well. So this is what that's gonna accomplish. So I'm just really rimming my eye, and then I'm gonna go back in a second and do my waterline. I'm just doing a kind of a basic under line. And I've got some makeup here, so I'm gonna brush it off. Okay, now for the other side. Now to make it look the same. Here we go. I'm gonna attempt to do it. All right. It's funny because, you know, everybody does, like from this eye, I can keep my whole eye open, but for this eye, for some reason, I always have to close it. I don't know why that is. I've tried to do it without closing it. It just doesn't work. I'm sure everybody has little things like that. Okay, so here I go, attempting to make it look the same. And I'm just gonna pull straight out. That's what I did over there. And I'm gonna take a look at it. I'm gonna lift it a little bit. Looks like it needs to be a little bit more lifted, like that. And make it thicker, kind of like that. And then I'm gonna do right underneath. So I'm just gonna go a little lower. And when I mean a little lower, it's just kind of like at the actual edge of my eye. And I'm gonna bring it down like that and up. It looks not so similar. I'm gonna fix it though, because what do we not do? We don't panic when something doesn't look the same. We know we can fix it with a Q-tip. And I'm just gonna rim my under eye like that. I have my mirror right here, sorry, because I can't see. I have bad eyes. Okay, and I'm just looking at it here. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just kind of fix this edge, go up a little bit, and I'm gonna take some of this off on the side. So I'm gonna just grab my Q-tip. And without water first, I'm gonna go ahead and just push some of this off. Being pretty hard on my, pushing pretty hard, but that's okay. So I'm gonna fix this too. I know, but it's like, you know, this one's a little lower than this one, so I'm just gonna wipe it away. I feel like I have a lopsided face sometimes. I always mess this side up. I've got a lopsided face. Here we go. Now I just got a little water on this now, just to really get it out of the way. And I'm gonna go back with my Q-tip and clean it up. I'm gonna put a little bit of foundation on so that it's really cleaned up. There we go. And then I'm gonna go back in. Put a little powder there too, like just powder this part of my eye. And my scar doesn't want to stay on my face. Here we go. Okay, let me finish that. Let me fix this. So here we go. I'm gonna bring it, since I know what I kind of did wrong, I'm gonna lift this more quickly on the side of my face. I'm gonna lift it up sooner than I think I need to. And then from this point, I'm gonna pull it out this way. And I think that I got it this time around. I'm trying to see. Here we go. I think that's better. It's more correct. Okay. I'm just finishing my under eye, going back to it. And now what I'm going to do still is I'm just going to put a little more of this dark shadow under my eye. Just like that, to really give it this kind of smoky look. Like that. The guy will come and get you. Will raid your cities. Okay, here we go. Now, I am going to do my waterline. So I'm going to take an angled brush and I'm going to wet it because I want the pigment to really stick. And I'm just taking a flat black powder. And, you know, your waterline is this part of your eye. So I'm just going to, let me try to use the phone to do it. Here we go. And I'm just dabbing in that powder in my waterline, just like that. And there you go. So now I have no kind of skin tone, and it just darkens my whole look. It makes it more kind of ominous, which is what I'm going for with this character. So I'm going to pull down my eye here. I'm going to be real careful because I have the scar. And here we go. Just like that. All in my waterline, just like that. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to add a little black powder into my eyebrows just to kind of darken up my whole look. And if I was really going full out with this, I would get a dark colored wig. I'd have a hat with a feather. And like a raven on my shoulder, not a parrot, raven. So yeah, you see that really kind of changes things. Here I go again. I'm going to do this on this side. And it really kind of pops the eye, pops the scar. Here we go. Doing this here, just like that. And before we go, I want to just do some last minute touches to this scar because it's kind of popping up on me, which is making me angry. It's making me angry. Don't make the Pirate Queen angry. Here we go. So I'm just tapping it down again with some of this powder. And I can do this again when I'm gonna have to order some latex, and we'll do another hi Andrew, we'll do another demonstration when I actually have the latex so that I can seal this wax down, because right now it's driving me crazy, and it's because this latex that we had is just too old. It hasn't been, looks like it's had its top open too. So, and now I'm just gonna go ahead and again put a little bit more highlight. I'm just kind of messing with this now so that you can really see it. I'm gonna get a different little brush here, and I'm just gonna load up this brush with some highlight and get it right up in there. And get a little bit more of this. Zorro got me, yes. Or, you know, it could have been, well, I said it was Captain James Hook. So this is kind of working too. I'm tapping it down with a little bit of this red powder, and I'm just doing this because it's irritating me that the wax is not cooperating with me today. It was cooperating yesterday, but not today. But you can kind of you guys kind of can see what you need to do. It's a white line on the ridge line, and then it's kind of just surrounded by, you know, this kind of red coloring too. That's really just what you're trying to accomplish, is, you know, using the red to show, and I used a little bit of brown as well, but, you know, using the red to show where the wound was and has been healing versus, you know, like the ridge line of the actual scar. So I think that in terms of highlight and shadow, it is really kind of working. I just wish that my wax was staying in place more. That would be helpful. And then I'm just going to finish doing what I was doing with my red shadow in here, just like that. And the last thing is just lipstick and mascara. So this is what I'm going to do. Here we go. I'm going to curl my eyelashes. Being careful not to put the eyeline, the curler on my scar. Here we go. Like that. Get a little, and I'm doing a little wiggle. You guys know the wiggle. And for this look, I don't normally put mascara on my lower eyes. Curl and whirl, that's right. But I'm doing it for this look because I want this kind of like dark, foreboding look. So that's why I'm doing it on my under eye as well. Something's going on with my eyeliner over there. That's right. Thank you, Andrew. I don't wear a lot of makeup, what Andrew just wrote. I don't wear a lot of makeup in real life. And I think that's because I've had to put makeup on so much for theater that when I'm like in real life, I just want to be makeup free. But, you know, I have a little sassy phrase that I love to say. I mean, I don't wear makeup because it's not fair to the other girls. It's not, though. That's okay. Here we go. And lipstick, I'm actually going to line my lips with some liner. Hold on a second. It's like a mess around here, all around my stuff. I got frazzled when my wax wasn't sticking. Don't get frazzled. I think I'm going to do a fun lip. I think I'm going to do like a bigger lip. So you can see that I'm cheating my lip. My lip is here, but I've gone over it probably 1/4 of an inch. I'm gonna do it over here too. Wow. Okay, so here we go. And this, what I'm using is not actually lip liner, it's eyeliner, but whatever, you know. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, guys. All right, Zivianis, tone it down. Tone it down, Zivianis. Here we go. Little lipstick. Just like that. Let me put my pirate shirt on. I have a pirate shirt. It's this fluffy shirt. There we go. I don't know where the buttons are. Here's a button. And if I had a hat, I wish I had a hat. Need one. Hat, raven, saber. Here we go. So this is my pirate mistress, my pirate queen. I have a crown, and I fought, you know, tooth and nail to secure the lands and my people. There we are. Trying to pin my hair up. Here we go. Get in there. Get in there, I'll make you walk the plank. It's not getting in there. I don't know what to do. Here, hold on. Don't panic. That's what you not do. Let me get some bobby pins. Let me bobby pin it up. The clips aren't working. But yes, I wonder what my captain's name. I wonder. I mean, my island name is Red Mongoose, but I don't think I'm going to be Captain Red Mongoose. I think I'll be Captain, I don't know, Captain Hookeye. And there we go. Yes, you can be an honorary Ziviani. Here we are. So, this is my captain look. Beware, on the 7 seas I'll see ya. Next time, you better wish. I don't know. Liver me timbers. Shiver me timbers, not liver. All right, well, that's what we have for you guys today. You know, what I'll do next time so we can see another demonstration of wax in a different form is I will purchase some new latex so that we can do this properly. Because as of right now, the way that the wax is on my face, it's not sticking and it wouldn't be viable on the stage. So I want to show you the correct way to do it when I have some liquid latex that doesn't look like this. So what I'll do, it might not be next week, but it will be Captain Sandy Beard. Sure, Captain Sandy Beard. What I'll do, maybe not next week, but one of these weeks with the wax again, since I actually have a fair amount of wax, I will get the latex and I will show you actually a look that I did a long time ago for my advanced makeup class at San Jose State, where I did kind of a water nymph, and I did ridge lines around my eyes and I wiped my eyebrow and I did ridge lines, which was really cool. So yeah. Thank you for watching. Please follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Yay. Just want to let everybody know that we are going to be doing a festival in September. We're in production right now. It's our Injustice New Works Festival. We've reached out to multiple playwrights of Sonoma County. They've written work for us. All different types of work, all having to do with injustice, and it will be a week-long festival where plays that are 10 to 25 minutes long will be shared via Zoom with Facebook Live talkbacks after the show. So keep an eye out for that. And thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next week for Makeup Monday. Bye. Shiver me timbers.